Qualifying for Trofeu Gte is getting underway. We have the Q1 session already started. We are setting the grid for this afternoon's 4-hour race. And that will be certainly a very interesting encounter indeed, with a good entry list of a variety of GT machinery that includes GT3 cars, Porsche Cup cars, GT4 machinery, the Alpine Cups as well, and the familiar Vortex machines. We have 3 of those on the grid, which is a combination of the original 1.0 and the slightly newer 2.0 machine. And this is 3 individual sessions for the drivers to take part in. It is the average of the 3 sessions that will set the grid for this afternoon's race. So we can run you through the running so far. We've had 2 practice sessions so far this weekend, and it has been the familiar #1 Vision Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo that has been dominating the top times. The fastest time in yesterday's running was 1:42.432. That was set by Jean-Bernard Bouvet, sharing the car with Jean-Paul Pani and David Hallyday as well, the French singer and songwriter. But at times, the #20 Vortex, the 2.0, the 2 Gomezes, the owners and runners of the Vortex team, have been nibbling at their heels. The best time set in FP2, only 1/10 of a second apart. But that gap could ebb and flow depending on who was in the car at what time, of course. A few different categories to keep on top of. As we see, the #1 car is currently circulating, trying to build up a decent reference time. It's 3 15-minute sessions that we're looking at here. The Vision car is tucked up behind on the challenge cars. From XP Racing. I can see the #1 car at the moment being driven by Jean-Paul Pani. It's driver #1 out for this first session. Jean-Paul Pani, multiple champion in the Endurance GT scene in VDV, and then of course later with the Ultimate Cup. Titles in, now hold your breath, 2007, 2008, 2015, 2016, 2018 and 2019. The first one was in a Porsche RSR, but then later switched to Ferrari machinery, first for the 458 and then of course the 488 as well. Shared a number of those titles with Jean-Bernard Bouvet, will be out in the car in the second session by the looks of it. At the moment, it is the #20 Vortex that leads the timing order. Olivier Gomez, the all-bronze pairing, indeed is the all-bronze trio in the Vision car, or the Ultimate class, as we say. We have 7 entries in that ultimate class. This is the 701 Vortex. This is the 1.0 machine. That is the previous generation car, but viewers of the Corvette series will be familiar with that car. 120 kilos heavier than its successor. Different suspension, different aerodynamics there, of course, but the same 6.2 litre V8 under the hood as well. But it's the number 20 that is currently fastest, the sister car there, the 2.0 of that model that we see there. Heading through, so the 701. Currently 4th fastest, and on UCS 3 pole. Although, as I say that, the 21 car, the other Vortex 2.0 of Solon Amrouche, or actually it's Cyril Calmont at the wheel of that car for this session. If you've got a bronze driver in your lineup, and indeed you only have two of the two drivers, then they must take part in 2 of the sessions, but they can't take part in 2 of them consecutively. That appears to be why it's Cyril Calmont in the car, but sharing that car with Solon Amrouche, who's also racing in the Trofeu GTS this weekend in the 1.0 version of the Vortex. Number of Alpine entries from Chazelle Technology for this weekend as well. They're all racing in the UCS light category. We have 4 entries from them, and some drivers you might be familiar with in the Alpine Elf Cup series. The number 17 La Space Bienvenue car circulating there. It's nice to see the BMW GT4 machinery out there. And, that car currently 11th fastest, and the UCS 4 pole sitter. And it's Rigo de Seb on board that car at the moment. Another Ultimate Cup class champion from 2019. He's also raced in Super Trofeo Europe in recent years as well. This is the number 21, the sister car to the car that's currently on pole. Number 14, 2B Autosport car, the Van der Westen brothers. And it's currently Carl at the wheel of that car. 3rd fastest, but not on the Porsche Cup class pole. That currently is the number 7 car, the sister 2B Autosport car, Romain Favre, currently driving that car, a Trofeu Gte France champion from a couple of years ago, and last year race winner in the Alpine Elf Cup series, racing for VPS Racing, and that's the Mathieu Vaxivière, Aurélien Panis, and Rafael Serrano run team. And already this year, a race winner in the Ligier European Series, racing in the JSP4 category with Inter-Europol competition. And that's his main program for this year, but won in Paul Ricard recently. We're going to experience some Ultimate Cup competition as well. Also made his LMP3 debut at the end of last year as well. So basically, you name it, he's raced it at this point for the 18-year-old, racing with his father, Olivier, this weekend as well, alongside Jan Penlu in the number 7. So it's currently 2B Autosport 1 and 2 in the Porsche Cup category, but both in pit lane at the moment. We've got just a minute left on the clock. And so far, no one has touched Olivier Gomez's benchmark time of a 1:42.994. And you see one of the Alpine Cup entries, the 110 machine. That's got 4 drivers on board it, which we do have a couple with that many cars. It's currently Stéphane Loeb at the wheel of that number 110 machine. And the 123 car there as well. And that is one that is racing in the Alpine Elf Cup series. The 123. Frédéric de Brabant, the gentleman class racer in the Alpine Elf Cup Series 4 this year, having made his debut in the championship at the end of 2023. This looks like drivers are getting ready for Q2 already, because we've got a driver swap going on with the number 21 Vortex car. So that looked like Solon getting in for Cyril Calmont. So into the pits has come, and Jean-Paul Pani has just put it 3rd fastest for the number 1 Vision Ferrari 488, 3 seconds off the benchmark set by Olivier Gomez. But that's a late effort there, that last lap being his best one, 1:46.027. So he splits the 2 Porsche Cup leaders in this Q1 session. In UCS 3, which is being shared between the Vortex 1.0 and the Ferrari 488 Challenge. It is it's the Vortex that's on pole in that class at the moment. Christophe Derignoux in that car in 5th position overall. Moving over from the Legends Cup Championship that races with the Ultimate Cup as well. Then UCS 4 is the number 17 L'Espace Bienvenue BMW M4 GT4 car. Checkered flag is out. And so the last couple of cars just completing their laps. 110 making it across the line there, and 3rd of the UCS Light runners is Frédéric de Brabant in the 123 car that has provisionally scored pole. Remember, we're looking at the average of these 3 sessions to set the grid for this afternoon's 4-hour race. Uh, 17 runners as well there. The slowest of which was the USC3 Ferrari Challenge car, which didn't actually set a lap. It came back into the pits immediately after its well, at the end of its out lap, and hasn't actually put a time in this session. So problems for the number 29 XP Racing Ferrari 488 by the looks of it. Roland Marchi was due to be at the wheel of that car. But, so it was Olivier Gomez fastest in Q1 for the number 20 Vortex team. Arnaud Gomez now going to take over the wheel of that car. We've had the driver swaps. We're going to get ready for Q2. we have the queue of cars waiting patiently for the green light to get this Q2 session underway. Cone removed from the pit lane exit. And the car that's won the race to the end of pit lane is one of the Porsche Cup cars. I wonder if that's the number 7. I don't think it is. I think it's the 89 GP Racing car, which is the Gabriel Pimont, Loic Thier and Anthony Beltoy Porsche. And Anthony Beltoy, of course, very successful in French competition. Carrera Cup France champion multiple times, French GT champion as well. See who's at the wheel of that car for this session as the green flag is waved. And we have Q2 underway. And it's Loic Thier in that car for this Q2 session. So we see the number 14 getting a fresh set of Goodyear boots on its car. Be Cesar van der Westen now at the wheel of that car. Both of them been on the podium in the Trofeu GTS races so far this weekend. They've got one more race to come a little bit later on. So it's a very busy weekend for the Van der Westen brothers, sharing their 2B Autosport number 14 machine, both coming over from the Roscar GT Challenge Championship. So heading out of pit lane is Hervé Aloro in the number 13 GL Racing Team Audi R8 GT4 LMS. So Arno Gomez is wasting very little time getting his foot to the floor. He's, pushing his way around. See Cesar van der Westen making his way out onto the track. His brother Carl, the champion of the Roscar series for the last 2 years. And their BMW M4 GT4 car making its way out onto the track as well. It's Daniel Wasinski, the number 17 car, the bronze driver. Of course, there are a number of different elements to the endurance race, primarily the driving time duties. There are various rules about how each different grade of driver can do their stints, how much time they can spend in the car, but also the penalties that are also based on the driver lineups. Primarily for not having bronze drivers in them. So if you don't have an all-bronze lineup, you will take some sort of handicap at each pit stop. And the more non-bronze drivers you have, or the higher grade drivers you have, like gold, platinum, etc., then the harsher you get penalised. So we see the XP Racing Ferrari 488 making its way down towards turn 1, the number 29 machine, which is Philip Papin at the wheel of that car. At the moment, a man with plenty of V2V experience since the 2010s, but largely in the prototype endurance championship, although no stranger to GT competition, having raced in French GT late 90s into the early 2000s as well. Now that car will also have Javier Pompidou in that car as well, and of course who co-created the Rebellion Racing team. also raced with Jean-Bernard Bouvet, who's racing in the Vision car this weekend. They raced together at the Le Mans 24 Hours back in 2000. And actually another driver who took part in that race, but in a different car, was Anthony Baltois, who's in the GP Racing Team Porsche Cup car. So it's almost like a little reunion of the 2000 Le Mans 24 Hours here in the Algarve. First visit to Portimão for the Ultimate Cup Series since its inception in 2019. And speaking to the drivers, they have absolutely loved being here in the Algarve so far this weekend. The roller coaster circuit that provides thrills not only behind the wheel, but of course for the spectators as well. I had a message on the timing screen here that car number 91, which is the Mirage Racing Porsche Cup car, the previous generation car, will have its current and next lap deleted. Now if you see that, that is because it means they've run wide on the exit of the final corner. Track limits has been a very hot topic here this weekend. Penalties that have been coming in left, right and centre for it. We're seeing it in the GTS races as well. You see the effect of traffic there as the vortex was held up behind the Porsche, and the Ferrari GT3 car got the clean run. It is currently those two cars leading the timing order, but it's Arnaud Gomez fastest on a 1:44.013 as it stands. Jean-Bernard Bouvet we're watching now in the number 1 Vision car. This was not only V2V and Ultimate Cup champion with Jean-Paul Pani for a few of those years. He was champion in Formula Ford 1600 in France. 1993. Oh, we've got some debris out on the track, and that looks like it's heading down into the first corner. Now we haven't got yellow flags out just yet. It is marginally off the racing line, but you would think twice maybe now about making a move into the first corner. You see the Vision car that is having to... Oh, now we've got a slow car moving. I saw the white flag there, and that's why we've got a slow-moving vortex. Which one is it, though? That's the question. Solenan Roushkar had just come out the pits in the number 21, which is the 2.0 car. And if that is her going slowly with some sort of mechanical or technical problem, then she's just having absolutely no luck at all this weekend. She was fastest in Q1 in the GTS qualifying, but had her lap times removed, we believe because of track limits infringements. Was coming up through the order nicely, and then spun in the first race trying to get back up the order, and is still starting at the back of the grid for the remaining races. So hopefully all is still well aboard that 21 car. But we're just over halfway through this session, and Jean-Bernard Bouvet has gone to the top of the times in that number 1 Vision car with a 1:43.651. He's 3/10 clear of Arnaud Gomez, his class rival. Cesar van der Westen once again leading a 2B Autosport 1-2, but this time it's the 14 ahead of the 7 as Yan Pen Lu in that car is second. Yan was racing with Olivier Favre, who will be out in the car for Q3. It's 2 class podiums in their 3 appearances together. That trio was together for the Le Castellet season opener last year. The Vortex seems to have made its way back into pit lane. Much struggle to get up that hill though if it doesn't have much power left in it. Now, we haven't seen a lap time yet for the GT4 BMW. It's Daniel Wasinski. Or Wasinski, I should say. Excuse me. But that car is currently doing personal best sectors. It does have a registered lap time, but not a legitimate one. So I can assume that it's infringed track limits. And now more problems here for Vortex as the 21. Now it looked like that car had made its way back into pit lane, but maybe that was a different one. But Solanam Rouge there, going for looked like a bit of a rotation. At turn 13. Maybe it was Arno Gomez who was making his way back into pit lane instead then, because that car is currently in pit lane. And here we can see the replay, just a little spin out of turn 13. That's us at the top of the hill for Solon. Bit of grass on the tyres, but should be on our way. This 701 car has just made its way back out of the pits. That's Stéphane Gouvernier. Currently 9th fastest, second of the USC3 runners. Making its way back out. Now we've got it slightly earlier here. We can see how the back end came sliding round for Solon. As we see, she's already on her way back into the order. Still no one touching Jean-Bernard Bouvet's benchmark time, which has been lowered now to 1:41.943 and 2 seconds clear of Arno Gomez. And then it's our USC3 class leader Philippe Papin in the XP Racing Ferrari 488 Challenge car in the number 29. Raced in the prototype Endurance Championship for quite a number of years. But the Porsche Cup battle is very intense indeed. A second and a half covering the, not top 4 cars that are now line astern. It was top 5 cars that were line astern in the timing order until Solanam Rouge just put her Vortex 8th fastest. But it's Yan-Pen Liu who's put the number 7 back on top. And that 2B Autosport 1-2 has now been split by the 91 Mirage Racing entry of Guillaume Bruot. And that is the Mirage team manager racing that car. And then also the 908 Seb Lejeune Racing entry. Which is Stéphane Perrin at the wheel of that car at the moment. He and Seb Lejeune also sharing that car in GTS as well. But they have Nicolas Prost in the car for the endurance race as well. Been a good weekend for Seb Lejeune so far. They're undefeated in the Porsche Cup and the GTS races so far this weekend. As we have less than 2 minutes left on the clock. In USC 4, Daniel Wasinski has now set a legitimate lap time, put himself ahead of that Dave Valoro number 13 Audi. And then in USC Light, it's Guillaume Massé in the 110. So that is the second time the 110 has led the USC Light category, which is dominated by the Alpines. The A110s so far this weekend. And so we've got 4 entries, all from Chazelle Technology as well. Of course, very well-known team in the Alpine Elf Cup series. at some potential drivers for the series. Largely gentlemen drivers. One of the two of their entries is confirmed as an Ultimate Cup entry for all bronze drivers. But, track just winding down a little bit as we're into the final 30 seconds of this Q2 session, and so far it's one apiece between the Vision and the Vortex, the two UCS1 category cars of the Ferrari 488 and the Vortex 2.0. Checkered flag is now out, and it is Jean-Bernard Bouvet fastest by 2 seconds to Arnaud Gomez in the end. And UCS3 pole position going to Javier Pompidou. This is that number 17. This is the GT4. I was about to say provisional class pole sitter, but fastest in this session would be more technically correct. Making his way back into pit lane. And then in Porsche Cup, it is Yan Pen Liu. It is the number 7 on top once again, to be Autosport, but separated this time their two cars by the number 91 Mirage Racing car of Guillaume Bruot and Stéphane Perrin's Seb Lejeune Racing entry, the number 908. Then comes Cesar van der Westen. And Loic Thier also 5th in that category as well. Just got in there right at the end. And then completing the top 10 is the other UCS3 entry, which is the Vortex 1.0 car, the 701. And that's Stéphane Gouvenier inside the top 10.
Sorry, can you yeah, I think so. I'm happy with the time I did.
So hopefully we can hear from Claire down in pit lane in a moment, and we can.
Yeah, just alongside me, Cesar. Well, I mean, you were visibly sweating. It is hot out there. Talk me through your session so far.
It was very nice. It was very difficult to find a pace in the first 2 laps, but after I found my pace and I did a very great time, even better than what I was thinking I was able to do. But the weather is very, very warm with sweating. Even for the race after at 1 o'clock, it's going to be horribly hot. But I'm very proud of what I did and happy to continue. So.
Yeah, it's not going to get any colder out there, I'm afraid, unless we were racing in the morning. It was a bit colder then, but it's going to be very, very warm. How confident are you that you're able to take pole position today?
I was very confident on me, and I think we can do a very great results tonight because the weather will be colder a bit, and we have a bit less of penalty now, so I'm very confident to do a great results.
It's the first time Ultimate Cup as a series have come to here in Portimão. Have you enjoyed the circuit so far?
Yeah, it's amazing. I was very stressed at the beginning because of the high and like the hill, but it's just purely enjoyable. It's so nice, beautiful, the weather, like it's amazing.
Are the sausage curbs as much of an issue out there as some people maybe were thinking they would be?
Yeah, you don't touch it or don't go on it or you fly or everything, like it's something to not go on at all.
But you're happy with the setup, you're happy with today, apart from the heat, if it could be a bit cooler?
Yeah, if it could be a bit way more cooler, it would be nice. The setup is perfect, the car is amazing. I'm ready to race again, so I'm just waiting for this.
Well, good luck. I'll let you get back and watch the rest of qualifying. Chris, back to you in the box.
Thank you, Claire. We've got Q3 that is about to start. This will help determine the grid, and yeah, Cesar bringing up a very good point there, actually, because today's race will start at 5 minutes past 4 local time. Oh, actually, no, that's the starting grid. The race itself gets underway at 25 minutes past 4 local time. And, of course, 4-hour race. That means we're going to end at 8:25 p.m., where the sun will maybe have fully set, but any local residents will know that once the sun goes down here, it does get rather chilly quite quickly. So, you know, if you're sat outside enjoying your Friday night, then it's worth it to take a jacket with you. And that's coming from a Brit. So, that is good advice. This time, the car that's won the race to the end of the pit lane is the number 19 Alpine Cup car from Giselle Technology. Final qualifying session for Trofeu Gte now underway. It's the final 15 minutes that will determine the grid for this afternoon's 4-hour race. So far it has been a battle between the number 1 Vision Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo and the number 20 Vortex of the Gomez brothers, Olivier and Arnaud. Will be Olivier back at the wheel. He was in that car in Q1. Only 2 drivers in that car. But he'll be going up against David Hallyday, the French singer, songwriter, actor, son of Johnny Hallyday, who is credited for bringing rock and roll to the country of France, my kind of man. And also his cousins and half-sister as well, actresses as well, Michael Vartan and Laura Smet. So an awful lot of artistic talent within that family. But David also bringing the racing talent as well. He's done 5 24 hours of Le Mans races. A race winner in French GT back in the early 2000s, and has raced in a modicum of different series of GT cars and prototype machinery as well. So we'll see. Between the two of them, who manages to stick it on pole position as well. So the 110 car that has been fastest in UCS Light so far in both sessions. So the cars building up to their first flying laps, or indeed on their first flying laps as well. So we haven't had a representative time just yet, just 3 minutes into the session. So the fastest car in Porsche Cup during the 2 test sessions was the 2B Autosport car. It's a 47006 for the 2 Favs and the Alpine Loop combination. It is now Olivier Fav at the wheel of that car in the number 7. And as I mentioned, that combination did race at the Castellet last year, but on the Porsche Cup podium in the GT Endurance race. And so the first time across the board is the number 20 Vortex car, Olivier Gomez, going fastest on a 1:43.650. But David Hallyday setting the pace in the first sector, but only by 1/10 of a second or so. Jimmy Lemunier, the Legends Cup racer, in the previous generation car, second fastest at the moment, but still early doors, of course. And oh, now that's a very slow-moving Porsche Cup car. It looked like it was just trying to get out of the way, though. Back up to speed now. Never get tired of that. The ring of that flat six in the Porsche Cup car. Not quite the snarl of the old RSR cars, but still a absolutely magnificent sound. This is the number 20 machine that we're watching. Currently fastest in this session is David Hallyday. He did go over the line 4/10 slower than Gomez, and Gomez just lowered that benchmark a little bit further, 1:43.331 now for the Vortex co-owner. It's one apiece so far in terms of topping the sessions between the number 1 and the number 20 entry. And this could determine it. Although the 2 seconds that Jean-Bernard Bouvet had over Arnaud Gomez, I should say, might just tip the balance in the favour of the Vision team. Team that won every race of the the GT Endurance Cup last year, barring their DNS in Hockenheim. So Olivier Gomez making his way around. He has done a purple first sector on this lap so far, but it wasn't an improvement in the middle sector, so we'll see if Gomez does bring it up to the line and improve his time. David Hallyday not currently on an improvement, not a personal best in either of the first sectors. And indeed Gomez ended up coming into pit lane. There we are at the halfway point in this session now, but Hallyday continues on. And it doesn't look like it's going to be an improvement on that 43.728. In fact, it was not. And there we see our fastest man in this session. Back in pit lane. And wow, he looks done. Getting out of the car. Saying, well, not going to get any better than that. May as well leave it at that. That's just getting up for a quick bit of comfort. See a spit of flame out of the back of the 21 Vortex car. That's magnificent. Number 7 2B Autosport car there that has been fastest in the Porsche Cup category so far in each of the sessions, but actually now it's the 71 in this session, which is the Martinet by Almeras car. Marlon Hernandez at the wheel of that car there. He's 3rd fastest and on class pole, the silver rated driver. Only in his 2nd year of car racing though, the young 19-year-old from Écully in France has done 2 years of, well, I say 2 years. He's in his 2nd year of Carrera Cup France, and that is his 2nd year of car racing. Full stop. Now, we haven't had a lap time yet from the XP Racing Ferrari 488. we're coming into the last 6 minutes of the session, so hopefully they'll be able to get that car out and running again as David Hallyday goes fastest in the number 1 Vision car. Hallyday on a 1:43.102, now fastest by just under a quarter of a second to Olivier Gomez, and that will definitely tip the balance in favour of the Vision car in terms of pole position for this afternoon's 4-hour race. Oh, coming up very quickly on some traffic here though. The Porsche Cup car having to dive out of the way in the Toro VIP hairpin. Silver and green car, which might be the Mirage car. To be Autosport in the pit lane. As I said, Olivier Favre, that car 5th of the Porsche Cup runners. 2 Alpines about to go side by side here. In UCS Light, it's the 123 on the inside, the blue and red car. That's the one that's fastest. Frederic de Brabant, fastest in this session of the light runners. Sharing the car with Jean-Louis Dauger. And so Jean-Louis doing Q2. That's why de Brabant's out for a second session. So continuing on his way. This is the Porsche Cup leader at the moment in this session, Marlon Hernandez, the 19-year-old Frenchman. 4th fastest overall, behind Jimmy Lemunier, who is 3rd fastest and leader of the UCS 3 category in the 1.0 Vortex. Again, the fellow Legends racer, along with Christophe Derinier. Or Derin O, I should say. 3 minutes left on the clock, and Olivier Gomez has come back out. No, he hasn't. There was the fastest first sector there for Olivier Gomez, but he has come back into the pits. And of course, that was the fastest first sector he did when he came back in a few minutes ago. And it doesn't look like he's going to head back out, despite being beaten to the top of the times there by David Hallyday. The 908 car, that's the Seb Lejeune car, the 908. And it is Seb Lejeune himself currently driving that car as the Martinet by Almeiras team watches on. 71, currently fastest of the Porsche Cup runners. Watching Marlon Hernandez do his thing. The 93 Giselle Technology car there, Marc Lopez. Who has been car racing since 2021 in French GT4 initially, and then moved into the GT4 European Series for the last 2 years. There's a hurry pit stop and a fresh set of boots going on the Vision car, but there's not enough time for it to get back out, so maybe just a bit of mid-session pit stop practice there for the Vision team. There's 1 minute left on the clock, and the top 6 cars all in pit lane at the moment. Obviously the 110 that has topped Q1, Felix Crepé. in that car. And the Visham is heading back out on track, but we've only got 30 seconds left on the clock. So not sure what that's for. Didn't look like the the 21 Vortex car. Looked more like the number 21 from the prototype race, which will be out tomorrow. But the checkered flag is out. David Hallyday, fastest with a 1:43.102 by just under a quarter of a second to Olivier Gomez, and I believe has done enough there to secure that car pole position for this afternoon's 4-hour race. Fastest in UCS 3 was Jimmy Lemounier. In the other Vortex, so Vortex is 2 and 3 in that session. Porsche Cup led by the Almaraz team, or the Martinet by Almaraz team, number 71 Marlon Hernandez, then Anthony Beltois by 0.4 of a second, then Carl van der Westen, another 0.2 of a second back, and then Seb Lejeune, half a second back from van der Westen. But those 4 cars line astern, split by the other Vortex, the 21 of Cyril Calmont. And then the Porsche Cup runners of Thibaut Caray and Olivier Favre. That's the top 10. UCS 4 led once again by the BMW GT4, Régis Rigaud de Seb. In the L'Espace Bienvenue car, and then UCS Light, the 123 car, Frédéric de Brabant, fastest. And we didn't see the XP Racing Ferrari 8 Challenge car come out in that session in the end. So that's really going to hurt its position for the grid later on. In fact, I think it will drop it to the back because the regulation is about who's done. If you've done all 3, then you line up in the order that you qualified in. But if you've only done 2 sessions, then you're put behind everyone who's done all 3 sessions. So that probably will put the XP Racing car at the back of the grid, the 17th. So be a bit of work to do from there. But plenty of time to do it in, of course, as we're looking at the pole sitter. The number 1 Vision car in its usual and familiar leading position. You see the red flags out there, but it is just the checkered flag, and the prototype cars waiting patiently because they've got their second practice session coming up shortly after this, a 90-minute session. They'll be qualifying as well later today, just before 3 o'clock. Of course, is the headline event for the Ultimate Cup this weekend. You see them getting ready. Just waiting to hear if Claire has been able to find our pole sitter, and if we'll hear from them. Well, it looks like we won't be hearing from the Vision team, but do join us for the 4-hour race. It gets underway at 4:25 this afternoon.
Peu importe qui tu es, peu importe d'où tu viens, nous passons tous par les mêmes étapes. Décision. Travail. Concentration. Objectif. Peu importe ce qui se passe, reste concentré. Dans la difficulté, ne lâche rien. Crois en toi et crois en ce que tu peux accomplir. Ne te décourage pas. Il y a toujours moyen de réussir. Il y a toujours une solution. Tu peux le faire. Tu peux atteindre ta cible. Il n'y a pas de raccourci. Juste la volonté, le travail et un peu d'aide. 9 mm. Atteins ta cible.
Être un bon traiteur, c'est être intransigeant sur la qualité. On ne fait du bon qu'avec le meilleur. C'est être impitoyable sur les recettes. Quand c'est bon, il n'y a rien à ajouter, rien à enlever. C'est être irréprochable sur le goût. Il faut prendre du plaisir pour en donner. Voilà, pour être un bon traiteur, il faut être intraitable.
Parfaitement intraitable.
Peu importe qui tu es, peu importe d'où tu viens, nous passons tous par les mêmes étapes. Décision. Travail. Concentration. Objectif. Peu importe ce qui se passe, reste concentré. Dans la difficulté, ne lâche rien. Crois en toi et crois en ce que tu peux accomplir. Ne te décourage pas. Il y a toujours moyen de réussir. Il y a toujours une solution. Tu peux le faire. Tu peux atteindre ta cible. Il n'y a pas de raccourci. Juste la volonté, le travail et un peu d'aide. 9 mm. Atteins ta cible.
top level, and we have to keep focused.
And not just that, there's some of those sausage curbs out there as well, so there has to be real focus, because if you hit one of those sausage curbs in Portimão, that's your race over.
Right, there's a lot of different drivers and categories of car, which makes the race interesting. You know, everybody's fighting for category. A lot of slower cars, newer drivers that are discovering the world of racing. So it makes it difficult. You know, it's not like you have 15 cars that are really quick. So you have to kind of struggle and trying to apprehend what they're going to do as well. So it's not like a video game, but it's almost, you know, but it makes it interesting.
You've got some data, I'm sure, to go see, so congratulations, it's pole position.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We have plenty more racing, of course, to come here in Portimão today, so stay with us on the live feed.